What is going on, guys? Today we are back with another hopefully very exciting video. Hopefully you guys think this is going to be a very exciting video, and I've actually already shot the video, so it's kind of a reversal style of video. A lot of times I come out fishing to a certain lake or travel to a different lake, and I kind of have this preconceived notion of how the day is going to go. We're going to check those 5 spots. We're going to use this 1 or 2 lures, and we're going to put together a pretty decent pattern, catch a whole bunch of fish, and it's going to be an awesome day. And then sometimes you get to a body of water, crash and burn, right? And this is the time of year where that can happen. This kind of late August into September, this late summer time frame. Fish aren't in a fall thing yet. The summer thing's kind of just falling apart. Fish are kind of transition mode. And a lot of times you start doing I just call it like road hunting or junk fishing type of day. And normally that means one thing to me, and this is what proved to be absolutely deadly today. This right here, and fishing it in a way where we're just covering mountains of water, making actually very few casts, but putting it right in front of a fish every time. The Acme Hype Rattle. It's unvalued, you know, it's one of the most valuable tools in your tackle box when you have one of these days where you just can't really figure out, are fish shallow, are they deep, are they up, are they down, are they eating this, are they eating that? It's time to put something like this in front of their face. So that's exactly what happened today. It was gonna come out here and do something different. Ended up, they just didn't want anything to do with that and needed a reaction bait. So this video is gonna kind of go through, I guess, how the last couple hours have went and how you can manage to kind of piece together a halfway decent day when otherwise you'd just be sitting there smashing your head against a wall. So stay tuned, let's get it going on. Enjoy this video, some fish catches, a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of things that I see make a difference when you're fishing this way, and how I like to fish it when you just can't get anything going on. Wow, right there. It's feeling big too. It's feeling right, boys. Oh, he's getting smaller now. First it was real impressive. Oh yeah, nice walleye, real nice walleye. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did you guys see how hard that fish took off? My gosh, is that what we're after? Oh, there we go. Come here, buddy. Come here. Got some water going on the minnows here. It's barely hooked, barely hooked. Got him. There we go. Number 1 of the afternoon. Feels good to lock that first one up, you know? Especially on a lake like this where you just have no idea which direction it could go. You can come out here for 6 hours, catch 0. It feels good to be fishing for 10 minutes and 14 seconds and have number 1 in the boat. And he's just a perfect pudgy guy. Not big, not small, right in the middle. Beautiful fish. Absolutely love these northern Wisconsin goldies. There we go. Let's let them go. Perfect. Hyper Rattle scores number 1. Sharpshooting. I had really high trophy caliber aspirations on that hook set, but we'll take it regardless. All right, this should be a bite. Come on. Got him right there. Wow, that feels nice. I knew one had to bite out of that school. It was looking promising. It's feeling the right size too. Oh gosh, it's always so like, it's always so who knows, right? Nice walleye, nice walleye. Oh, he's doing the run. Come here, buddy. There we go. Not big, but we got another one. Not big, but we got another one. Really working hard, just mainly just to even get around fish. But that's the reality of fishing this way. When you're just running around and sharpshooting fish in low numbers, bodies of water. We'll take them. And now that school looks like, oh, they're out there about 50 feet now. It's a nice part about live, you know, most time when you're hyper rattling like this, what'll happen is you'll pull a fish out of an area. It's a presentation that's very obnoxious. Like, fish don't like just sitting around a bait that's flying like this. So it's either like bite it or get out of the way is how I always describe it. You know, it's either like you get bit or those fish blow out. Or if you do, even if you do catch a fish, let's say, that school just blows out and goes somewhere else a lot of times, unless they're just really jacked up. But now they're about, looks like 60, 70 feet out here. And the live's a very powerful tool, obviously, for chasing fish around. And that is one of the biggest things. I think a lot of people have this idea, they want to see the TV show commercial with the live. It's like, oh, there's my bait, there's the fish's mouth, it's going right in there. But in reality, one of the best things they can tell you is just, where are fish? The other big question is always like, what makes this tool a powerful one in a situation where fish aren't biting and they're spread out? Because this is a bait where you're not trying to cover a lot of water with it. You're doing that with your eyes underwater, your hummingbird graphs or whatever you got. So you're only casting this out or putting it in the water when you see fish, and you're only putting it exactly where you see fish. So obviously with sonar, a couple important things is know what side of the boat your transducer's on. My vertical, 2D sonar is right here. So if I see fish right there, boom, I'm dropping right there. Side imaging, if you're gonna do this with side imaging on a bigger flat, get good at reading how far out things are. So let's say you're sitting in 20 feet of water, for example. There's actually one fish under me right now. I'm just gonna drop and see what happens. You never know, right? Maybe it just might work out good for the video. But get good at knowing how far away fish are in your side imaging. So if you are sitting here and you see fish, 30 feet off the left, everybody always thinks that's really far. So what they always want to do is cast, like, I'll say something to the effect of like, fish are 30 feet off the left, and you'll see somebody just go like this and they'll just throw up a Hail Mary. That's like 130 feet. So 30 feet's not that far. If you're fishing off a 20-foot boat, it's just 10 feet farther than that. So keep that in mind as well. And specifically, really what makes this a good bait when fishing just sucks, when you're not seeing a lot of fish, and when the fish are very inactive, you could think about a couple things. Think about a fish really not wanting to bite, and you putting something like a slip bobber or a spinner rig or something just slow and live baity. A lot of people associate tough bite with like slow, finessey presentation. Something those fish can just see coming from a long ways away. It's real light, it's real wispy, it just kind of goes across their face. Well, they're not hungry, so they don't even care, right? Where with this, we're sitting in 27 feet of water right now. Here's how fast it takes to get to the bottom. Boom, there's bottom right there. That's fast. So it gets in their face very fast. And then when you're working the rod really aggressive like this, they don't really have time to like process it all at the same. Oh my gosh. I don't know if that was a rock or a fish, no idea. But they don't have time to process it all. So it's just this quick, drop the bait right in front of them as fast as they can. First of all, they're surprised that something just fell out of the sky that fast. Second of all, you're springing the rod around like this, and it's like all they can do just to boom, just jump on it right away. And they either jump on it most of the time, or they just get out of the way. Got him right there. You guys see how fast that was. And that was like immediate bite. Drop down, fish on. Nice walleye here. And once again, the sharpshooting saves the day. What you guys didn't see is I drove around for about 20 minutes before that fish decided to, or before I even saw fish, just flying down a big flat. And you can see how a lot of times you can turn a seemingly impossible situation. Fish are just super spread out across all sorts of different kinds of structure, and you can turn it into a feasible day of catching fish the boat. Is this a big fish? No. Is it a 16-inch eater if you're looking to keep one? It absolutely is. And yeah, there's not really a whole else to say. It's the biggest thing's obviously the electronics. Then the second biggest thing's obviously the hyper rattle, and then the intersection of those two things is, you know, being able to put that bait right on those fish immediately. Right there, there's another fish on. Why does it just feel like it's a rock though? It's gotta be a fish. Sometimes you will snag like these weird shaped rocks. Gosh, he's running all over the place. Sometimes you will snag these like weird soft rocks that come off the bottom. Ooh, nice walleye. Nice walleye here. Come here, buddy. There we go. Putting it together, man. Putting it together. Well, that was the same pot as you guys saw me catch that last fish out of. And the camera's been rolling for 1 minute. And let me, when I get an opportunity here, take a screenshot of what I'm looking at. Now, it doesn't look like much out there, does it? But that's a pot of walleyes about 30, 40 feet out. And boom. So I'm talking about piecing it together on a day that would otherwise be very, very difficult. And we're getting it done. Haven't been out here for a crazy long time, but you know, there's a lot of things you could do that would be much less productive than this. And I understand it's not the most glamorous type of video to make. Here's how you weasel out some eater-sized walleyes on a tough lake, on a tough bite. But hey, this is the realest part of the job right here. All right, so when you're fishing this way, you're essentially just covering a ton of water. Now you got a couple different ways you can obviously do that. One with the trolling motor, one with the big motor. And I used to always do this with the big motor because I thought it was a little bit faster, and most time I was dropping, it was straight vertical. And I was looking at, you know, screenshots on down imaging or sonar that look something like this. And since then, since kind of I've started using live a lot, or this forward facing sonar, I like doing it with the trolling motor more, and there's a couple of reasons for that. But number one, most time I'll keep this pointed like straight ahead, and that lets me know obviously what's coming in front of me. I'll run a split screen of side imaging, or we'll kind of show you guys here. I'll throw up a screen that looks like this, an 80-20 split as we kind of cruise into this spot here. 80% side imaging, 20% sonar. Sonar obviously tells me what's right below me. Side imaging obviously tells me what's off the side of me. And in conjunction with that, the live is going to tell me what's out in front of me. Now, if you're just doing this with a big motor, you're going to say, okay, fish are off the left, fish are off the right, or they're right below me. Now, I like doing it with the trolling motor with live, because essentially if I'm like, okay, there's some fish right there out in front of me, I can either keep driving at them or pitch to them. Or if I sit here and I'm, you know, kind of twirling it, I'm like, oh, there's some fish right there. As I'm fishing, this thing's not changing direction off the side of my boat unless I take a hand and go to it. But if I keep my trolling motor up on like 8 and I'm like, oh man, there's some fish right there, and then the boat kind of drifts and moves around, I can basically use the trolling motor to follow those fish. You can see how my direction is now more this way, and I'm like, okay, where are they? Oh, they're right there. Okay, now let's say I make that cast, my boat drifts too far, and I know those fish are right here, but the live's pointed that way. I'll just auto-correct the boat with the trolling motor, say, okay, yep, those fish are right there. Now I'll make that pinpointed pitch to them. So there's a couple different ways you could do this, obviously. One, with the big motor, don't feel like you're out of the game at all if you don't have a forward-facing sonar like a Humminbird Mega Live. Does it help? Obviously it helps. It's an amazing, powerful tool. But this has been done I've been doing this for a decade now with forward-facing sonar with a lot of success as well. So it's obviously possible. And if you think you're going to be driving like a super long ways in between bites, you might just want to do it with the big motor to save on your trolling motor if you're out on a windy day like this. But a lot of times, you know, if you're fishing a lot of these lakes that might be 5,000 acres, 2,000 acres, 1,000 acres, 500 acres, their spots aren't massive. So a lot of times you could just put the trolling motor down, fly through it quick, see where you're seeing fish, you know, with the trolling motor, make those pinpointed casts, and catch a whole bunch of walleyes. Oh man, right into him. This will be a cool pitch if this one works out. Got him. Oh, called the shot. You guys can see me flying. I even think I like got out, had to grab the rod off the deck. Kind of whipped around, spun to him. Man, you know, these aren't big fish, but they're super nice quality fish for sure. Just hunting that pod. Hunting the pod, getting bit on the hyper rattle. And if you guys were wondering, of course it's old purple. It's the old purple color with the gold head. We'll show up a little, that guy. Get your hands on him. Deadly, deadly walleye presentation. All right, we'll let that guy go. It's a quick thumbnail picture. Been good on taking thumbnail pictures lately. Most of the time I forget, and it's much harder to add a thumbnail picture after you already had the video. Never as good, not the same quality. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video on one of my absolute favorite ways to catch walleyes. Was this how I thought the video was gonna go today? Come out here and just try to grind on some bites? Absolutely not, but I can tell you this style of fishing has saved the day so many times for me, especially from like late June even into like October. It's a phenomenal fall bait too if you have a fish located in deep water. All the fish I caught today were on this purple color. Every time I do a video on these now, I know the demand is so crazy high for this bait, but check on obviously acme.com. If they don't have any, start checking some retailers. Someone will have some. Scarf up all the purples you can get because they're just an absolute clear water killer. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Don't want every single video to be somewhere where we go to a crazy location that's really good and just catch a whole bunch of big fish and say, wow, look how cool this is. You know, most of this channel is filmed on pressured water where there's not crazy walleye numbers of big walleyes anywhere to be found. So going out on a tough day like this, middle of the day, tons of boats out here, and putting together a solid program in a couple hours, just kind of sharpshooting those fish and kind of road hunting walleyes like this. It's a super, super effective way to fish. And like I said, it's saved the day so many times. So I probably would not have normally made this a video if it didn't just dawn on me like, hey, make one for the common man out there. So here you guys go. Here's a good day saving tip. But appreciate you guys watching this one. Actually filmed another video this morning that you guys probably saw yesterday or something like that. So it's been a fun little day of catching some walleyes. Got to go home. Tomorrow's a day to work on the garage media studio apparatus. And after that, I think we're getting back in the truck and we're putting some miles on to go catch some more fish. But appreciate you guys watching this one. If you guys are not already subscribed, please do that. Stay tuned for more content. We'll see you next time.